Are we live?
Yep.
Are we live? He's trying to kill me, guys. He's trying to kill me. Tonight's tea, what is it?
Sweet organic green.
Sweet organic green tea. I literally just took a sip of it, and I said to him, it's like when you're playing, like when I was a kid, when Play-Doh was really toxic. It's like you would sometimes have the urge to eat it. It tastes like green Play-Doh from when I was a kid, after we did like all the weird shit with it, like the newspaper and like, you know, got our germs and our feces on it or whatever. But anyways, it's not the greatest. It's green. What is it?
Sweet organic green.
Sweet organic tea. You guys know the rules. One sip. Here we go. Yeah, it's got like a burnt plastic taste to it. Like
I don't know where that would come from. Then.
It's just, I don't know if it's the cup or you're trying to kill me.
I clean the cup out religiously every time you use it.
Maybe you put some chemical in there. It tastes like cleaning chemicals.
No,
I used to work for a company that cleaned a factory around here when I was really young, and it smells like that
Okay, you know
cleaning
what?
chemical.
Try it without the lid. Maybe there was some dish soap that got put in the lid. I don't know.
Oh, so
try without the lid.
You know why people put dish soap in somebody's drink, right? To give them the squirts.
Well, I don't think, based on what just happened, I don't think we need to worry about that.
But anyways, welcome to Out of Bounds. This show is ridiculous. Yeah, it is Monday.
Today is
the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes.
I was trying to find a picture of me at Pearl Harbor, but I really couldn't find a good one. Been there 3 times. Pretty sad, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty somber, I think, when you go there, right?
Nobody talks. If you talk, you're kind of a dick. No hats. Well, people wear hats out there. I take my hat off, obviously, even if my hair is ridiculous. But I've known that since the first time I went. I've been there 3 times. They basically no talking while you're out there. So when you get to the memorial, you take a small boat out there. Fits maybe like 30-40 people. You get out to the memorial and you all get off. They do ask. It is a memorial or burial site, so the soldiers are still down there. They do ask that no photography. No, everybody's taking pictures with phones though. No flash photography is the new rule. And no talking while you're out there. So what you do is you rent a headset. So you would rent a headset, and you got this little, I don't know, it looks like a calculator, but it's a playlist or whatever, like an iPad or whatever. And you come up to a marker and it says play number 1. Tells you what happened on that exact spot. What are you standing over because you can see the ship below you.
Yeah.
And tells you everything you need to know. And it's actually narrated by some of Hollywood's biggest stars, like Tom Hanks does one. Katie Seagal does the video before you go out. You got to watch like a 15-minute video, kind of the lead up to why Pearl Harbor happened. So, pretty cool place. But Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th, every year.
I saw a real cool movie, Midway. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, take a look at it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's the Battle for the Pacific.
It starts with Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. But anyways, yeah, a lot of cool, interesting facts about that. One of the generals was ignored. They basically said, "Oh, you're full of shit. Like this is never going to happen on U.S. soil, even though it's And then literally less than a week later, it did.
Total arrogance and lack of preparation.
That's right.
That's what it was.
But they needed folks. They needed a reason to be drawn into the war. They were in the Pacific. What do they call it? The Pacific Theater. They needed a reason to test out those new bombs they wanted to drop. So, yeah, I was on the boat with a veteran actually, and he's like, I can't believe they did this to our own country. Like he was totally he knew, like he was under the understanding that they knew it would happen, and they just let it happen because they knew it was coming.
Well, there was intel that said that
Yes.
it could happen, right? But you can't. I don't know if they thought that you could believe every piece of intel that you get.
No, of course.
Because during the movie Midway, they actually show the code breakers and they talk to them about just pieces of information that they grab and how the code breakers are trying to piece it together. And they're like, we can't take 80% of the stuff that you even talk about.
Yeah,
we
for
can't
sure.
even take it.
Well, anyways, this is Out of Bounds. It's a sports talk show, but I thought I'd start off with a little talk about Pearl Harbor today. But without further ado, we're going to bring Brandon into the show.
Everyone, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you, Alon, Amanda.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? How are you all feeling? Upside down smiley face would be about the best feeling right now. What do you like? How are you feeling?
Sure, yeah, no. It's Monday night. Like, I mean,
Yeah, well,
Monday night, so
it is Monday night. We had a long weekend of sports. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on. Some of the stories just broke. $1 million hockey card. I don't think so. No World Junior Championships for Lafreniere. Baking Christmas goodies. Nice, Amanda. Jets questions. So that, I don't know if you never even asked me what that was about.
I didn't know. You run with that, and
there are several people. We'll wait till we get to it. Mayweather Paul just announced that Mayweather's going to fight.
That I've looked into. I've got some pretty good opinions on that.
And then the free for all, of course. If you guys have any questions or want to add in, we'll just talk at the end. But what time is it, Brandon?
Oh, hang on.
Hold on, we got a new.
Look it, and here it comes.
What time is it, Brandon? Give you a chance to have some of this tea.
For me, I think it's time that you rip on the Bears again because once again they led a game and let the game slip through their fingers in the last 2 minutes. They were up by 10 points with 2 minutes left and blew it.
All right, if you really want me to do this, what time is it? It's time to stop being a fan. It's time to stop investing my feelings as a fan. It's time to I don't know. It's just time to give up, I guess. One of our viewers, Mike Trudell, mentioned to me, he's like, "Oh, they need to do a rebuild. They should just blow it up." Well, I basically said to him, like, "Look, I'm 38 years old. I've got a little kid at home now. I'm not going to invest another 5 years into a rebuild." I think a lot of people get to that point in sports. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, how do you keep saying, "Oh, okay"?
Plan the route.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you go? Okay, we're going to be bad again. You know what I mean? Isn't enough? Like at some point, you just have to say, "I'm done." And I think I'm very close to that with the Chicago Bears. I'm not blaming. So a lot of people are quick to blame like Mitch Trubisky, saying he's horrible and all that. He's no Patrick Mahomes. He's no Deshaun Watson. Well, no shit. Those guys are like elite / what do they call them? Generational quarterbacks for what they do. But the problem is no one ever, because of the Bears' mighty defense, no one ever puts blame on the Bears' defense. The Bears' defense all years have been absolutely fucking shit. Okay, their defense has been average at best. And late in games, late in halves, they're basically Swiss cheese. Like Matthew Stafford, I know he gets a ton of mop-up yardage. By that I mean they're down a ton in the second half, and teams go to prevent defense, and he just racks up yardage. Yeah. But you don't do that when the game's still on the line. If Chicago was up 17 and there was like 4 minutes left, sure. But they were up 10, and there was enough time for the Lions to make a stop. And so you got to play a little bit tighter in that situation. Basically, they had a 15 to 20 yard pass up over the middle, open at their disposal. Like it was just like play and catch.
I watched him throw sidearm a number of times, and I thought the game was over as soon as they picked him. As soon as the interception happened in the fourth quarter, I was like, "This game's done," and I shut it off and I went over to another game.
That's terrible. Well, it's terrible management by the team. Chuck Pagano, the defensive coordinator, gets a lot of He had a lot of success in Indianapolis and all this stuff. Well, he's done nothing for Chicago. Honestly, they should have won the playoff game they did go to, but they didn't. That was probably coaching and or just preparation. The kicker missed a field goal, but it shouldn't even have been that way. The game shouldn't have come down to that.
Well, it wouldn't have been a field goal win anyway, so they would have lost anyhow by a point.
No, I'm talking about the playoff game that they did have success. They lost in the playoff game. Just horrible all across the board. They do need to rebuild. They're older on defense. They've got a few pieces on offense like Allen Robinson, and I do like David Montgomery. I don't blame him for anything. The offensive line needs a total rehaul. Defensive line as well. Khalil Mack, probably one of the most overrated players in the history of the NFL. Hey, there's the truth, guys. That's why we do this show. But anyways, I'm done. That's what time it is.
Do you have time for me to ask you? Or do you want to
No, I'm done, man.
All
like
right.
I ain't got nothing. I got nothing to add to that. Screw that.
All right, topic number one.
All right, topic number one. $1 million hockey card.
I just read about this.
Yeah, so a report came out today, or yesterday, I believe. Toronto Star, I think, ran it. Wayne Gretzky pristine rookie cards going to auction at Heritage Auctions. They do a lot of sports memorabilia and cards. They think it's going to be the first hockey card to eclipse $1 million. What do you think of that?
I can see why it is because of the rareness of the card. Because most of the Wayne Gretzky rookie cards will rate at like average about 4? Are they about a 4 or a 5?
No, they're better than that.
Oh, I haven't seen any of
them. For those of you out there that are watching the show that have never actually watched the show, if you're watching on the replay, I own a sports card shop. So this is Rocket Sports Cards. A lot of people bring in their Wayne Gretzky cards, and this is going to create a huge shit show for me. The reason it's going to create a huge shit show for me is I'm going to get people coming in here saying, give me $1 million for my Wayne Gretzky rookie card. It's mint. When that happens, they bring in a Wayne Gretzky rookie card. When that happens, I look at it, and if it's real nice, I legitimately say to them, it's probably a 5 or a 6. It's a PSA 5 or PSA 6. And they call me an idiot. They call me, oh, you want it for cheaper? Yeah. I said, first of all, I don't even want it. Like, I'm not making an offer on it, so why I'm not invested in this.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I've graded enough of them. I've seen enough of them to know it's really, really hard to get anything over a 7. It has to be immaculate. You have to basically, I don't want to get too far into that. It'll be something for the hobby, according to me, which is our new sports card show coming up. We just announced it. I love the name. It's going to be called The Hobby, according to me, or in short form, The Ham Show.
The Ham.
We've been laughing about it all day. The Hobby, according to me.
He's got all kinds of segments. So I think it's kind of exciting for the fact that this whole $1 million. A lot of people get into the hobby because they're looking for the gem. They're looking for that.
Of course.
So, like Lafreniere right now, his rookie card's ever going to be worth $1 million? No, but everyone right now is looking for a Lafreniere rookie card, a young rookie card, right? So the thing about it being $1 million and being a 10 is that when you think about cards from the 70s, they're in rough shape. Like they came out of the pack in rough shape.
No.
Well, you told me OP Cheese came out of it in rough shape.
No. So basically, there are cards that exist from the 50s, from the 60s that are PSA 9s, not a lot of PSA 10s, but PSA 9s that are 30 years older. So there's no reason that a Gretzky from the 70s shouldn't have some mint copies floating around. Okay. A lot of people. Well, he was good as soon as he showed up too. So not a lot of people collected back then. Not a lot of people were seeing it as an investment. So a lot of people just kept their favorite cards and put them in a binder or put them in. Well, they probably didn't have binders then.
Yeah.
Put them in a cigar box or a shoebox. Yep. Whatever they did with them, right? If they were really good, they would have took care of them and maybe put them like in a photo album. But yeah. So with this card going $1 million, the first thing I'm going to say is bullshit. And the reason I'm going to say that, how do I say this? Being a sports card owner, being somebody that has ties in the hobby and has to be somewhat politically correct, for them coming out to say that it's going to be the first ever $1 million sports card, that is, I want to say, a false market. I think they're trying to drive up the price and the interest, and so if somebody says it's $1 million card, there's going to be some idiot out there that says, I'm going to pay $1 million for it because I've got the big dick and I want to show it to everybody.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they would have come out and said that was a $500,000 card, bidding would have ended right after $5,000.
It's marketing.
It is marketing. It's marketing in a way, but it's also a false community. How do you say that? It's just basically fraud, if I can say it at its finest. Because I can tell you right now, whoever's invested in this card and whoever owns it, there's been, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there have been rumors in the hobby of shill bidding. Shill bidding is something when Brandon owns a card and he won't take less than $600,000 for it, and he makes sure that card gets to $600,000 before any real bids come in.
Okay.
So after $600,000, you're playing with real money, but he jacks that bid up until it gets there. And all you need is two people, folks. All you need is one guy and his buddy going like this and pushing it up until it gets to where you're happy, and then you just let everybody else in.
But there's no legalities behind any of that, right? Like,
yes, it is illegal. It's illegal.
Canada, it's illegal.
It's illegal on eBay for sure.
Well,
Like
yeah,
if
eBay,
what I'm saying though, that's an auction site.
Yeah.
So if it's illegal on eBay for guys to do, and you can get banned for doing it, why is it not illegal in other auction houses?
I don't know. You'd have to find.
I'm not accusing them of anything, but I'm telling you that's the only way this card gets to $1 million.
Okay. What do you think of the trickle-down effect is coming out of that for, let's say, Gretzky and
Well, here's the great thing about it. I have a couple Gretzkys at PSA right now that are getting graded, and they're pretty nice. They're not 9s or 10s, but they're going to be a pretty good grade. Like maybe I'm hoping for a 7, but I'm realizing it's probably a 5 or 6. On a real good day, it might be a high 6, a 7. I've got another one that's going to be like a 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. It's really tough. It's human errors involved, right? Did the guy have a good day that's grading it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did he get in a car accident? Did his wife divorce him? That's why I don't trust grading in the first place. We're going to have a show about that, by the way.
Okay.
A lot of really shady shit going on in the hobby right now. I'm in the hobby, so I see it every day. A lot of manufactured... it's a manufactured market. So, first of all, a collector's not paying $1 million for the greatest Gretzky of all time, supposedly. It's going to be an investment firm or an investor. We've seen this in baseball. I believe it was an investment firm or an insurance agency bought the last 2 baseball cards that set records, the Trout rookie. You know what I mean? It's great advertising for them.
Sure.
So they've still got the asset. This is what I'm saying. They've still got the asset in the card. If you take a $500,000 loss down the road and got all that publicity from Forbes magazine, from this, from that, it pays for itself, guys. You still have an asset. You can pay $3 to $5 million for a Super Bowl ad, or you can buy something for that and get all the media attention out of it and still have an asset.
Yeah, and unless you're Jeff Bezos, for instance, as an individual, you're not actually going against a firm or a corporation or whatever that's going to be backed by billions of dollars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I knew this hobby was changing. It's more for us to talk about on Ham.
Sure.
I love it on Ham. It's more for us to talk on there. I won't give away too much about that. We've got a few episodes coming up, though. You guys are going to want to watch this. Anybody have anything to say about this $1 million hockey card? I think I'm going to see an influx of Wayne Gretzky rookie cards coming to my store. People saying, how do I grade these? Who do I talk to?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give them the dirty truth. That is like, look, it's a great card to have, but if it's got a crease running through it, you can pretty much give up your dream home.
But will a 7 now, for instance,
will it increase?
Will it drop
Yes.
the value?
Yes. So that's what I was getting
much?
at. That's what I was getting at. Just because of the eyes on the hobby on the Wayne Gretzky, it's always been a popular card. Since about 2 years ago, they've slowly started creeping up.
Okay.
Like I'm seeing PSA 1s, which basically just means that you've had it graded. Could have been through the spokes of your bike.
Yeah.
It's just real. So it's real PSA 1, bottom grade, $1,000. So you're looking at, but it costs money to grade them. You got to remember that. You're investing $100 to $200 just to have that card graded. So you would net whatever you paid for the card plus
Yeah.
it's coming out of that $800 profit. You know what I mean? So it is very expensive to grade cards, especially that card.
Will it do anything for the rest of the Gretzky cards? Like any
No.
inserts?
So it's just his rookie. Everything else is kind of slowed down. Like even his second year is coming down. $1 million is a lot of money to some people, but if you're an investment agency or an insurance firm or insurance company that has millions of dollars budgeted for advertising, and you can buy an asset and still get your name all over the place, plastered in the news.
Yeah, free publicity.
That's just free publicity, guys.
Publicity.
Well, it's $1 million worth of publicity.
Yeah.
And you can still sell the asset when you're done.
Yep.
So even if you lose a little bit on it, that you can't buy that publicity.
Makes sense.
Not for that, anyways. That was genius on the part of the insurance firm.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's being sold at an auction house too, right? They get a cut of whatever.
Absolutely.
That card is sold for too, right? So
I don't trust it. We'll see how it goes. We'll obviously talk about that on.
When is that auction?
I don't know. I don't care to look into it that much. I think it's all BS. How does the greatest Gretzky ever go from like $400,000 to $1 million overnight type thing? Because I think there was one that was in the $300,000 to $400,000 range that graded.
Well, I think simply because of how hot the hobby is right now.
The hobby is very hot, but it's all manufactured.
Okay. All right. Topic 2.
Alon, yes, they are doing that.
Probably wouldn't put.
I'm not sure if it was an insurance company or if it was some. I think it was an investment firm. But they purposely, or not purposely, they just flat out bought them for the publicity.
Yeah.
So.
Wouldn't put it past a corporation or a company to do that. Not if they've got a blank checkbook where they can go write whatever they want, right?
Yeah. And really $1 million to these people is nothing.
Yeah. Okay, Lafreniere, no World Juniors.
The New York Rangers have announced that they will not lend Alexis Lafreniere or Lafreniere to the Team Canada roster for the World Championships this year.
I don't think anyone is surprised.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I don't think anyone's surprised.
He got hurt last year. Almost a season-ending injury with the knee. Actually came back and played.
Yeah.
But original reports were like very, very bad at the tournament, saying that it might have affected his ranking, being first overall. I don't think the Rangers are willing to risk that.
No, I look at it as total risk versus reward. There's all sorts of risk, and there's zero reward for the New York Rangers. They are thinking business first, championship first. What do we do to make our team?
Well, they're not going to win a championship this year.
No. But what do we do to make sure that we're in championship contention? And I think putting your star first overall draft pick in a situation where he could get injured and there's absolutely zero return coming back to you. Of course it's going to be a no. It'd be a hard no, right? So, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see other teams do it.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that if the rumors are true, NHL training camps might be opening around the same time.
Yeah.
So they don't want to lend this guy out and have him miss a week or two of camp when camp might only be 2 or 3 weeks.
For sure. Yeah.
I think that's the main issue right now. The NHL is still trying for that January start date, with the World Juniors starting on Boxing Day every year.
Yes.
You're looking at a 2 to 3 week tournament with the final game being played, what about the 5th or the 6th?
I think Championships gold medal game is the 5th, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at I think it's the Friday or Saturday night that week. So you're looking at 2 weeks this guy might not be able to be at training camp. I think training camp might open up the first of the year.
Yeah, I wonder if he would have to quarantine when he gets back too, right?
And you'd have to quarantine
too.
So
there's an additional 14 days
that's right.
tacked onto that.
So say they do want to open up the 20th or between the 20th and 31st of January, if they can really do that. Is there really competition? I'll answer that in a second. If they want him to come out, there's just no way. Like the risk versus reward. Like, what does he really get out of it? He's already got a gold medal.
He gets nothing.
It's just.
And the Rangers get nothing too. And you're looking at him. He's your cornerstone, right? So now you've got your franchise player that you are going to lock up into a long-term deal. If he misses the first, I don't know. If he misses his first season because he blows out his knee, tears his MCL, whatever.
And you guys got to remember that it is a very, I want to say, not dangerous, but there would be undrafted players that are out to headhunt a guy like that.
Absolutely.
He's got a target on his back. A lot of people don't like other players that have success, so they're always a target for them. So I'll answer this question. Is there really competition for Canada in this tournament? There's always competition. Every year, teams get better, and Canada just kind of stays the same, or they have a really good crop. They haven't won the gold medal every year. Actually, there's years they didn't even medal at all in the last 5 years.
It's true. Sweden won. Finland won.
Sweden, Finland, Russia have all been competitive. The U.S. is very competitive.
Yes, they are.
I would say the favorite for me going into the tournament would be the U.S. That's my honest opinion on it. I think Canada is probably a favorite as well. I would never say Canada is not a favorite, but Yeah, who knows? Who knows who shows up? Is Byfield going to play? Is like all these guys that are supposed to make NHL rosters? Like they might not be playing, guys.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The majority of Canada's top end talent that was drafted this year won't be coming back.
Yep.
Because they usually, if you're a first round pick, you get an extra long look at camp. You know what I mean? Whereas American-born players, like I'm a Montreal fan, like Cole Caulfield, he's going to be there because the Canadians have said, look, you're staying in college until it's done.
Yes.
Or next year, we're going to give you 2-3 full years there. He's going to be on the U.S. roster.
They like the development of them, I think, a little bit more, right? And then that gives them a chance to mature, whereas Canada kind of sends their players off, and then they get picked up by the pro teams, and you never see them again.
Or they go to the AHL, right?
Yep.
So, as far as I know, the Americans have a deal in place where you either play college or you play in the NHL.
Yep.
There's no AHL for college players. They have a deal with it's a deal they signed with the league, so they couldn't just cherry pick their players. Whereas the CHL is a little bit different. You can play your 8-game buffer and then be sent back. It's a little bit different with the way the rules work for different countries, for different leagues. It's kind of interesting actually, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think as always, is it the New Year's Eve game, Canada USA?
Yeah.
Probably determines who comes out of that group first. That's a big thing too. Who you play on the way to the gold medal.
You gonna watch? Do you watch? Do you find that you watch the entire tournament?
I don't have for years I didn't have TSN because they got rid of their hockey coverage, right? So I really didn't watch. So if I was watching, it'd be over at my parents'.
Okay. Do you think that it's going to be that because of how sports starved people are right now that it's?
Well, I'll definitely watch because of that.
Draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'll be I think it will be definitely a bigger draw. Where's it being played? U.S.
Isn't it Edmonton this year?
Okay, it is in Edmonton. That's right. So one thing that we need to watch. And if you're new to this and you're watching on the replay, if you are watching on the replay, give us the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Shameless plug. But anyways, if you're watching on the replay or if you're watching live, watch the 50-50. So famously, the 50-50 at the World Juniors when it's held in Canada or the U.S. is like $500,000.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
But what I think it was Calgary this year, they have the rights or they have the ability to do this because the lottery system there, they were selling 50-50 tickets live on the internet.
Oh yeah.
So you could log in, and the 50-50s were like $1 million for the Edmonton playoff games, because I could buy a ticket.
Yeah,
I'm not even there, but I can buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Just absolute insanity. So I would be curious to see what the 50-50 start going for with the home viewer being able to buy tickets.
I wonder if they advertise that. You think they'd advertise that on?
I believe it's on the bottom of the screen at the game.
They run a ticker.
Yeah. It's
really?
insanity.
Huh. Do you think that Lafreniere not going will actually hinder audience, or do you think people are just not going to care because it's hockey and hockey's back and?
No.
We're on Christmas break.
Every hockey fan's going to watch the tournament.
Okay.
Everybody's got a player that's in it. Every team's got a player that's playing that you're going to want to see how your team's guy is doing. I think it'll be really good ratings for TSN. I think I think it might be I'm going to throw this out on a limb right now. It will be the highest rated New Year's Eve game of all time. Canada-US, because people aren't going out to party.
I think it'll be the highest. I agree with that. I think it'll be the highest World Juniors overall.
Period?
Yeah, period.
They start Boxing Day.
Yeah.
So usually it's Canada versus somebody on Boxing Day, one of the lower tier teams.
It's 3 games, I think, on Boxing Day, right?
Yeah, so Boxing Day here in Canada, like, we're not completely shut down like in the States. Well, not everybody's completely shut down, but I think because of the New Year's Eve aspect of it. Can you watch it on the internet? I believe TSN. Yeah, if you really want to watch it, you can find TSN streaming. It's probably on there.
Yeah, there's other free streaming stations that you can get to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what I was going to say is that New Year's Eve game, I think, with everybody sitting at home and just kind of like chilling out for New Year's, I think there will be house parties, but there's no like big balls or.
That's right.
Anything like that. I think you're going to, with it being the premier sporting event that night, with college football probably, there are college bowl games, New Year's Eve. I think that will be one of the highest rated sporting events for hockey ever.
I think so too.
Not just World Juniors, but I think it's going to be the highest rated sporting for hockey maybe ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Canadian audience.
That's right.
Boost that.
It will parallel with like Vancouver 2010 Olympics gold medal game. I'm telling you right now, the entire country will watch that game.
I agree with that.
And if Canada were to make the gold medal game, I think viewership will be good. But it won't be like that New Year's Eve game because everybody's at home on that New Year's Eve.
That's right.
Literally, nothing's open.
And no one's going anywhere.
No one's going anywhere.
Yep.
House parties, maybe, but you don't have a quarter of your population going to bars and drinking that night. You're going to stay home, have a meal, watch it with your family. It's going to be huge.
Sounds like a good idea to me. I'm in.
We're going to watch it here at the shop. So
all right, moving on.
Jets questions.
Topic 3.
I don't know if I can fill a 10-minute segment with this, but it's very, very interesting. So I'm watching Twitter. The Jets are up 24-21 or something like that with literally 11 seconds left in the game.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, everybody's the Jets are just doing the jet thing. You know what I mean? Or that was the headline. Jets are gonna jet. You know what I mean? And then I kind of look into what happened, and I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. The fact that they got scored on with 11 seconds left with basically a Hail Mary in single coverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't happen. You don't blitz. You don't.
Well, I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins caught one with not DeAndre Hopkins
with 3 guys on him.
With 3 guys on him.
This was man-on-man coverage.
So you just think that defense was they just called it and they were like, forget
it. Hold
on.
On. Okay. So I'm seeing people in the business questioning the Jets. Literally like, you guys, through this game, you want the first overall pick, which you're going to get anyways, but you literally threw this game. And they're like, you don't do a Jets or whatever the coverage was. There's no way in hell you do that coverage with 11 seconds left in the game. You do not. The guy beat him clean down the line.
You know the Hail Mary's coming, right? You know the Hail Mary's coming, and I agree with with what you're saying about you don't do that. But the Jets are the worst team in football.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even the worst team in football don't do that.
And blown coverage, I would totally understand. Blown coverage.
When you have retired players and current players in the NFL, it wasn't one guy. It was like numerous guys saying they blew that game on purpose.
There's no reason for them to blow that game, though. The only other team that
is the reason.
The only other team that is remotely close to them is Jacksonville right now with a 2-and whatever. Cincinnati has a 2-win record, and so does Jacksonville. There's no other team in the league that's even close to getting the number.
But what I'm saying is money.
You think someone paid them to blow the game?
No, they made a shit ton of money blowing the game.
Oh, you mean that teams betting against
them? So listen to what I'm saying. I've been warning you guys about in-game betting. That's when sports cease to exist, in my opinion, and now it's just entertainment. When you can bet in-game, I've never seen so many ridiculous comebacks in history in the last 5 years.
So you think a whole bunch of people put money on the Jets?
On the Jets when they got up with 11 seconds. Great odds because, you bet $100 and you win 10, but there's only 10 seconds left. They're not going to come back.
Yeah, but you also have that. You also have on the other end.
They took all the money. Okay.
Someone who could say, you know what, it is the Jets. I'm going to bet the other way.
That's why they don't question it. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, totally fixed. Fixed.
I don't agree.
When players in the league are questioning it, something's not right.
Well, it's coaching. Their coaching is terrible. The Jets are a terrible football team. The coach came on and said that he failed Sam Darnold and Sam Darnold's development. He said there's nothing I can do to help him because I've already failed this football player. And he practically said he needs to go somewhere else so he can get the development and actually get the recognition that he deserves. Because Sam Darnold's not a bad quarterback. He's just on an inept team with a terrible offensive coordinator, terrible defensive coordinator, and a terrible head coach. There's no scheme.
And a team that put money on the game.
They look terrible. I don't know. I don't think that they can put money on themselves or put money on the opposing team. So.
Here's what I want to tell you, Brandon.
Okay.
And you're going to shake your head when you hear this.
I am going to shake my head.
You can bet on WWE wrestling.
Why would you want to do that? Because.
But the validity of betting now is in question.
So do you think that so a ref could call the game and say, "Hey, I just heard in my ear, you got to throw this match"?
No, but if there's legit odds on WWE wrestling, which there is, how can that happen when it's a predetermined outcome? Like, how are you not Vince McMahon or Triple H telling your family and friends, hey, I know it doesn't pay much, but put $20,000 on John Cena tonight because he's winning the match to win a couple grand. You can't make it look obvious, but hang up the phone and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Vegas takes bets on WWE outcomes.
Okay.
So the validity of betting as a whole is totally up in question now.
When did that start happening?
For years now, you could bet on WrestleMania and you could bet on Survivor Series, the pay-per-views. You could bet on all of them.
Okay. I've never heard of that, so
I will show you the. Okay. So Royal Rumble's coming up. The Royal Rumble's coming up. Let me check on my phone here. You run things for a second.
So the idea of betting on wrestling, like, I don't understand how they would allow that. That doesn't. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because if it's already no one in their right mind knows that. Everyone in their right mind knows that wrestling's fake. And so, I don't know. I have to see. You're not getting this from The Onion, are you?
Nope. It's legit, man. Here we go. So, early lines, that's what we call it in betting. The opening line on the Royal Rumble, which takes place in January, they do have... One second here. Roman Reigns is the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I don't understand why that is. He's a 6-1 odds right now. Edge is the second favorite, along with Keith Lee at 8-1 odds. What else we got here? After that, Big E, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Aleister Black, and Bray Wyatt can be found at 12-1 odds. And you can legit bet on them. So how can we take betting as a whole seriously when they're allowing people to bet on an event that would have a predetermined outcome?
I'm assuming that they have to have some type of thing in line with the SEC.
I could run into Triple H in a hallway and he says, "Hey, I like you, Mike. Do yourself a favor and put $10,000 on Edge to win the Royal Rumble tonight. You're my kind of guy."
But that's insider trading, right?
Exactly.
It's illegal, and if they ever get caught doing that, there's serious consequences
as
a result of that. You can go to jail. It's fraud.
No, not a chance. There's no way. They just say, "Oh, we didn't know." Nobody told them. It's his word against mine. As long as they don't have recorded.
Well, that's what I mean. As long as if there's a recording or something like that, then they're screwed. But
I'm just saying, like, there are people out there that have a serious gambling problem. Like, there are people out there that parlay bets and, like, thousands of dollars a week, and they always tell you when they win, but they never tell you when they lose,
that
right?
I understand.
But they're literally betting on some of the craziest shit. And I feel so bad for these people. There's talk shows dedicated to it. There's talk shows dedicated to, like, this is how you do this bet. Like, you got a 6-way parlay. You need this team to win, this team to win. You know how rare that is to go for like 6 for 6. Uncut Gems. Have you ever seen the movie Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Like, he had like an 18-way parlay for like $1.some million. Like, that shit don't happen.
Okay.
But look how sick that guy was because he had a gambling problem. Like, he was willing to bet on anything. Yeah, Fred, that's what we're saying. Like, WWE is not scripted, but they do have predetermined outcomes. The match in the ring is somewhat scripted, but they do call audibles.
So do you think that based on what money is coming in from Vegas,
they could change it?
They could change the day of the.
And that's the problem. They could do. Vince McMahon can come into the office and say, "Look, we let the public know that we thought we were going to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble, but hey, guess what? Vegas calls and says, 'Hey Vince, do us a favor. We just had $10 million put down on Roman Reigns. Can we have someone else win the Royal Rumble tonight?'"
That seems crazy,
right?
Yeah,
but would you put it past them?
I wouldn't put anything past anyone when it comes to money. It's just
especially when
there's so much risk involved.
I get that, but especially when the next night on Monday Night Raw, they can come up with some crazy scheme where Roman Reigns gets the title shot anyways.
Shit, fair enough, but
you know what I mean? Like, how can you trust it?
Yeah,
how can you
that's the
trust
next day,
anything at that point?
That's Vince McMahon putting his entire company at risk because of.
He's done it before. Are you going to sit here and tell me that Vince McMahon's not shrewd and not like a conniving businessman?
I don't watch wrestling to know that. It just seems like that's too much of a risk for somebody to do, because he could go he literally could go to jail as a result of that. And
he's not doing anything.
If he's switching up the results because somebody's asking him to switch the results for
it's
money,
his show. He can do whatever he wants.
But
it's called a rewrite.
But if they're doing it for money, if
no, he's not doing it for money.
If word gets out from, hey, I need a favor here, blah blah blah, that could be.
That's business, man.
Oh, I don't know.
And that's how they take money from you and everybody else out there that's dumb enough to bet on sports.
Bet on wrestling, so I don't know.
But that's how they take money from people that are dumb enough to bet on anything. I'm just saying, there are people that are questioning the legitimacy of yesterday's Jets game, the outcome of the Jets game, and there are people in the business, ex-players, current players, and executives. That's a problem.
But there were a number of situations yesterday.
Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, folks. If he can bet on baseball, other games, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like,
there were a number of situations yesterday in football where you questioned what the coaching ability was. Like,
are they that dumb?
No, but they're running a risk, right?
They're not running a risk. Like we go back to the Bears. Like, Allen Robinson catches the ball and goes out of bounds a half yard short when they need to get a first down. Like 40 seconds left in the game. And he had room to move to get the half yard. Either he's a fucking horrible football player or has no brain.
But we watched the same thing happen with that Lakers.
He's a professional. He needs to know where he is on the field, and they say that all the time.
Fair enough, but we watched the same thing when...
the timeout by... Yeah, okay.
No, it was not the timeout. The one where they tossed the ball in and he ran it back. It was off a foul shot, I think it was. And he ran it, and LeBron James is pointing at the
yeah, like the game's tied. We're not up.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
So, I mean, people make mistakes, I guess, right? So stepping out of bounds on a football field, you're right. He should know. He should have field awareness, court awareness, whatever.
Especially when the flag or the stick's right in front of you.
Yes.
All he had to do was reach his arm out.
Yeah. All right, I don't know. I'm not into the whole conspiracy thing for the... I like to think sports are a little bit more pure than that.
Sports are not pure anymore, my friend.
So let's talk Mayweather.
In-game betting ended it.
Let's talk with Mayweather and Logan Paul.
So a lot of people are... Floyd Mayweather is going to fight, is it Logan Paul?
Logan Paul. Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. He's got a brother named Logan.
Yeah, Logan.
But is it going to be anything of a contest? I did think Jake looked pretty good for an amateur boxer / celebrity when he beat up Robertson the other day. Will it be genuine? I think it'll be a genuine match, but I don't think he's going to win. Mayweather is a professional, undefeated in his career. It just seems like there's a few reasons this has happened. Mayweather doesn't want to risk losing his perfect record.
Yes.
He is willing to do something for money. He is a businessman. A lot of people think he's broke.
Do you think he's going to job this?
What do you mean?
Do you think he's going to stretch this out so it becomes a draw like the Tyson Jones fight?
No.
You think he's going to
I think he'll toy with them for a few rounds. I think Conor McGregor Mayweather was an awesome fight. A lot of people don't give McGregor enough credit for that. He did some cool shit in that fight where he jumped sideways and punched him. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
It was entertaining. It's a major payday for anybody involved. But I honestly think with this fight, it's all about money. It's clearly all about money.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying that Mayweather might be not fraudulently talking about how much money he has, but he might be a little untruthful that he's in such a good situation. He does like to gamble. There you go.
He made a crap load of money on the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, though. Like, tons.
I get
like
that.
$80 million or something like that.
I don't think you have to worry about moving, Alon. But what I'm saying, though, is like he's got expensive tastes. He's been out of boxing for 2 or 3 years. Hasn't had a payday. He's going to get paid probably $10, $15 million to do this. Minimum. I don't know. I don't know what he's getting paid, folks, but it's going to be a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers, but I think for him to do a fight like it used to be like $100 million when it was his promotion.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's fighting under his own promotion anymore. I can't remember who actually is putting this fight up. It's not Tyson's. It's not Tyson either.
I have no idea who is.
If anybody out there has that information, I didn't have a chance to look it up today. I just seen last night that it was announced, and it's legit. Like they're going to do it.
So how many rounds do you think it's going to go?
If it's an 8-round, I think it's in February. Actually, it's not that far out. It's like 2-3 months. That's not going to happen.
They're 2 different weight classes.
Mayweather Tyson won't happen just because of the fact that I don't think Mayweather wants to get hit by a guy that's 60 pounds heavier than him.
It's 2 different weight
It would
classes.
not end well.
Time. It could kill him.
That's why they have weight classes in boxing.
Yeah. I think Mayweather's going to smash him. I think that Mayweather.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like the.
A lot of hugging.
No.
You think
You
Mayweather's going to play that typical match where he's just going to kind of run away, strike, run away?
I think he's going to put on a show for the fans. I think they're hoping for February because I think they're hoping for fans.
See, I think
limited fans in the stands.
I think that Jake Paul's going to come out and he's going to swing. Because he's going to want to lay out because it gives him credibility.
Well, you got a puncher's chance, they call it, right?
It gives him credibility to win. And I don't think that Mayweather is going to let some YouTuber come in and actually put him on the mat. I don't think there's any way in hell.
But he's taking it extremely seriously. Like he's saying that I want to be a professional boxer.
But I think that he's not a professional boxer.
Well, he's a natural athlete. They have talked about that
for sure. But I don't think that if you look at what Mayweather's record is against all these professional boxers who grew up boxing, and then a YouTuber comes in and lays him out or KOs him or TKOs him, I think that Mayweather is not.
Mayweather knows the risk that if he loses this fight, he's done. He's a laughingstock.
Everything will be tarnished. I get it. That's why I think that Mayweather is going to. That's why I think he's going to.
I think he comes out, feels him out because he's one of the best defensive boxers ever. People know that. Yep. He's going to let him kind of punch himself out and then go to work.
Punch himself, get tired, and then but okay.
He's going to rope-a-dope him and make him. He's not going to make him look bad because they're both getting paid. And then again, how much money's on the fight? Let's talk about betting. How much money's on the fight? It's not going to be whether or not Mayweather wins. It's going to be what round does he win in. So when you've got,
I can't see Jake Paul taking a dive for money. Though.
No, he won't take a dive.
Okay.
But Mayweather can determine when he goes down.
Determine when Jake.
Have you ever seen the movie Diggstown where he says you need to go 6 rounds and then you can go down?
I know what you're saying, but so you're saying Mayweather's going to turn it on in whatever round.
Turn it on whenever it's time.
Okay.
Whenever the money's good.
I can't foresee. It's a curious and interesting match the way that they're doing it because Jake Paul wants it so bad. And to go up against one of the greatest boxers of all time, I can't see one of the greatest boxers of all time actually. I can't see it being even close. So I don't know what the payday for Mayweather's going to be and what the payday for Jake Paul is going to be.
Alano, I just want to say this. We'll talk about this more in the free-for-all if you guys want. He thinks he's going to effing kill him. I don't think so, and we'll get to that in the free-for-all so we have some clout for that, but I don't know. I'm going to watch. I watched the Tyson-Roy Jones fight. I thought it was extremely entertaining. Tyson won the fight, even though they went to a draw.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. It's the exhibition thing it stops Mayweather from having to put his record on the line. But even if he doesn't put his record on the line, and
I don't think anybody tunes in unless his record's on the line.
Yeah, and he loses
because that's his draw. It's like the Undertaker in wrestling. You wanted to see him wrestle at WrestleMania because he was like 21-0 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And the world will shock when he finally loses a match. I don't think he will. I think Mayweather's going to cherry pick his opponents from here on out. Biggest payday, least risk.
Okay.
And keep that record going because without it, he's nothing, right? He's still one of the greatest ever, but undefeated greatest ever sounds a lot better.
Oh, absolutely. Which is why I think that he can't take.
And that's another reason why I think Khabib will be back too in UFC. There's already rumblings that they're trying to get to him. But he retired undefeated, obviously, and no one was even close.
It's one of those Renaissance things, where we're trying to pull back all this nostalgia, even though it's not that distant nostalgia.
Because it's more entertaining.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a heavyweight division in boxing forever. That's why Tyson versus Roy Jones was so entertaining, and it opened up the questions like, hey, like Larry Holmes came back real late in his career to have like a very interesting fight. You know what I mean? Like he was 50-something years old. Is it possible that if Tyson has another fight and he looks even better, or puts up the same type of speed and like doesn't seem so labored in the ring,
that there could be a resurgence?
That there could be a legit Mike Tyson versus Tyson Fury fight for the WBC title, which would be literally one of the greatest drawing pay-per-views of all time, because people just want to see, like, if Mike was to win that fight, that would bring boxing back. And that's what, like, boxing would be like, get it done, Mike. Because Tyson Fury's been sitting there for the last couple of years saying, hey, I don't even have anybody to fight.
Yeah.
There's no legit contenders. Everybody just beats the shit out of him. It's not even really close. But I like Tyson Fury. I think he's pretty funny. He was at what was it, the Saudi Arabia wrestling event? Yeah, pretty entertaining guy. But I think that's the end game here. In a year or two, we might start hearing rumblings of Tyson versus Tyson. It writes itself.
Oh, it does. I know that you said that probably a few weeks ago when you were talking about.
If he had a good showing, like if he looked like he wasn't going to die in the ring, and look powerful, and look, because honestly, like Mike Tyson's got nothing to lose, folks. Like he's doing it for a charity that he believes in. If they could say, Mike, you're the biggest draw in boxing history, which he is.
Yes.
We want you to go one-on-one versus Tyson Fury, and we're going to give you $50 to $100 million to do it.
Exhibition?
No, for the title. Like if it's not for the title, he's not going to go out there and get knocked out for fun.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance that Tyson Fury could hurt him, right?
Yep.
A real chance because of the age difference in size and whatnot. But it's got to be worth it for Mike, and if he can generate that kind of money, he's doing it for charity, and obviously he needs to live. I think he's in.
Okay.
That's a lot of money to turn down.
Well, it is a lot of money to turn down, particularly when you can do.
And he's got all the excuses. He wouldn't use them though. It's really when there's no. It's a no lose situation for him.
You think
his age would be coming to question if he did lose.
Yeah.
He's just doing it for to push himself. He's mentioned it numerous times. He's just trying to push himself.
You think we see Tyson Holyfield before Tyson Tyson?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's the next big Tyson fight will be Tyson Holyfield. I think Tyson will make short work of Evander.
Okay.
Yeah. So
just as a way to atone for the loss that he had when he bit a Holyfield's ear off.
I don't really remember it. I remember watching it and I was laughing. I'm like, he bit that dude's ear off. It was funny, and it reminded me a lot because when I was a kid, probably about 10 years old, we had a bull terrier named Tilson, not Tyson, but Tilson, and he was really nippy when he was young. If you guys don't know, like nippy meaning like he liked to nibble and bite and stuff.
So you bit his ear off?
What's that?
So you bit his ear off?
No, he bit my ear off.
Oh, really?
So he was licking my face when I was younger, and he took part of my earlobe off and had to get it stitched up. But yeah, I got a scar on my earlobe, and that was prior to the Tyson bite. So Tilson beat Tyson that time. He was the first.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeesh.
But he was licking me, and then he just kind of got too excited and bit my ear. Just a pup.
Well, and then puppies will do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't know any better.
Yep. So that was a lot of fun. Having my ear just bleed everywhere.
And it bleeds a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Any of those head injuries, they bleed a lot.
I know you've had a few head injuries. Yeah.
So
we
guys,
can tell.
We got so we got 7 minutes, and it's the free for all. So anything you guys want to talk about? I know that you said something about a lawn.
Yeah. So Mayweather's going to kill him.
Yeah.
So no, that will not happen. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Jake Paul's a draw. Jake Paul has got everybody talking. I think he's going to be.
Crowd?
He's a star in his own right, whether it be a YouTube personality or whatever it is. And Mayweather knows that, and they can make money together. So, like in the wrestling business, guys don't make each other look bad if they can make money together. So Maybe Jake Paul puts on a better show than people thought. Mayweather does win by decision. The kid hangs with him for the whole thing.
Ooh,
Then you got Mayweather Paul too.
I don't know. I don't think he'll let it go to decision.
Okay, you wouldn't think that.
Oof.
You wouldn't think that.
I think that.
But what if it's a late round TKO?
I think that tarnishes Mayweather. I think anything longer than the third round tarnishes Mayweather's.
Well, that's not true because Jake Paul could just run around the ring and he couldn't hit him. He could just hug him the whole time.
Well, I don't know. I think, but Mayweather being a lifetime professional boxer and Jake Paul only being in the profession for.
But that's how you make a mistake. That's how you frustrate a guy and he comes at you and he makes a mistake and you catch him.
Okay.
So Mayweather will not chase him. Like, he's not that dumb. Because he knows he's trying to get him to make a mistake or slip or whatever. You know what I mean? Because he knows he's got a puncher's chance. Sorry. We talked a lot about boxing on this show.
We did.
Free for all, guys. Anybody have any? That is my Mayweather's going to kill him. I don't think so. I think it'll be closer than you think. I think he might toy with him. But you will see Jake Paul maybe get a couple shots in and make it look like a lot of fun, anyways.
All right. I'm thinking by the third round it's over.
All right. Vegas says he's going at least 4.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Like I made that up.
Okay.
If you guys have any other questions right now, definitely shoot them at us.
I think Mayweather cares more about Mayweather than he cares about anything else. And I think that the Mayweather name and the Mayweather brand of being undefeated will not let a YouTuber come in, even with all the training in the world. He will not. I can't see him letting Jake Paul hang with him at all.
We do have some questions coming in.
Yeah.
Do you think the Lions will win any more games this season? Actually, before I get to that, I want to say something. I was reading comments on Facebook about the announcement of the fight, and somebody said, "Oh, Jake Paul's much, much bigger than him." Okay, and then someone literally said, "Yeah, but Floyd Mayweather punched out the Big Show at WrestleMania," and I felt like saying, "That's where we're at." That's where we're at up here, folks. Do you think that was a real thing that happened? Like in real life, Big Show would grab the guy and just break him in half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Land on him.
Yes, like that's the whole thing, right? But somebody out there literally believes that was real. Like, this is the world we live in.
COVID-19's a hoax. So I'm just bringing up Detroit's record.
Do you think the Lions will win any more games this season? Absolutely, yes.
I'll give you the schedule.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will, and you tell me yes or no.
And I'm going to tell you why they're going to win.
All right. Okay, so we've got the 13th, Packers.
That's a loss.
Okay. We've got the 20th, Tennessee.
Next. Well, no, I'll get back to it.
And we got Boxing Day against the Bucks.
Next. That's a loss.
That's it.
They have 3 games left?
That's all I got. That's all that's on the schedule.
No, it should have more than 3.
So that's all I see on the schedule.
Aren't they 6 and 7?
Sorry. One more. On the 3rd, they got the Vikings.
So that's the game. So if they're going to win a game, they're going to upset a team like Tennessee, who's been like this all year, and that's a trap game. That's a trap game. That's the game that the Lions always seem to be like, why couldn't they do this all year? They show up and they have a really good game against a team like Tennessee.
Good.
The other one is Minnesota. They said that when Patricia and Quinn were fired, it was like someone opened a window. They talked about it all day yesterday. The players are re-energized.
I saw that.
I think you're going to see the Lions finish 500 for the rest of the year, 2-2.
Okay.
I think they beat Tennessee, which sounds crazy. I think they beat Tennessee, and I think they beat the Vikings the last game of the year. And they knocked the Vikings out of playoff contention.
Oh, hot take.
Because honestly, it's just that game would literally be just a free for all. Yes. Like, there's no defense on either side of that.
No.
Green Bay probably routs them.
Green Bay is playing for something.
They're playing for first round bye, obviously.
Tampa Bay is playing for something.
Tampa Bay is still trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I believe the Saints just clinched yesterday, won the division.
See, I think that the Lions are no good against.
Will the Lions take the wild card? You're insane.
Yeah, no, it's
the Lions will not make the playoffs.
I can't see them stopping Derrick Henry, against the Titans. I bet you he runs for 200.
There's just too many. There's really just too many variables.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
The only game that I could foresee. Them
But Tennessee has one of the worst defenses
I get
in the
it.
league.
They're terrible.
So it's gonna be a free for all. It's gonna come down to turnovers. That's what I'm saying.
I think they go 1-3 in their last 4.
Who do they beat?
They beat Minnesota.
Is it at home?
It's at home.
All right, I think they upset the Tennessee Titans.
You say they go 2-2, and
the Bears have an atrocious offense, and Tennessee beat them by like 6 points, and the Bears did nothing all day, nothing, and they stopped Derrick Henry.
I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to stop Derrick Henry running.
I think the Detroit Lions, like the Chicago Bears, are playing or were playing to get their coach fired.
I think Tennessee is.
First of all, I think the Lions are a 500 team with Matt Stafford. They have all kinds of weapons for him. Hawkinson's one of the best tight ends in football now. Just wait, guys. He's going to be the next guy we're talking about. Travis Kelce type situation here.
They won't keep him.
What do you mean?
They'll get rid of him.
No. If they're getting rid of anybody, they'll eventually move away from Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
But Hawkinson's the guy. He's going to be there for 5, 6, 7 years probably, and just put up crazy stats. As long as someone's got throwing the ball, anyways. We got one more question. Do you watch soccer a bit? Absolutely not. It is the world's game. I do get that, but in North America, it is gaining steam in North America.
Yes. MLS.
But not for this guy.
MLS looks good.
Even the World Cup, I don't really tune in. I really don't care.
Just before we go, I know there was the hockey-related thing. Did you see the Tampa Bay Detroit trade coming down the pipe?
Stamkos?
Killorn and Johnson and a first-round pick to Detroit for like nothing.
Yeah, it's a salary dump.
It's a salary dump. Big-time salary dump.
Yeah. And that's going through?
It's from what I gather, it's almost a done deal. Killorn, Johnson, and a first-round pick.
Okay.
And a prospect. I can't remember what the prospect was, but it sounds like it's all four for next to nothing for Detroit, just to get rid of the.
So why didn't you bring that up as a topic tonight? Because I would have shit all over that. Because to me that's collusion.
It's not a done deal.
But to me, that's a collusion type thing. Steve Yzerman worked for Tampa Bay. Steve Yzerman signed those players.
Yeah.
Steve Yzerman is doing his old buddies in Tampa Bay a favor.
But you can say about Ken Holland and Edmonton.
Absolutely, he traded the players he wanted before he left.
Yeah, absolutely. So
that I get what's going on here, but what I'm saying is that I honestly thought it would be Steven Stamkos going the other way to Detroit. I did say that Detroit would be the team to alleviate Tampa Bay's, and you guys don't listen to me. Like people don't watch this show and take me. They don't take me seriously. They don't take me seriously. But I've been calling it for a month. I've been calling it for months that Tampa Bay was going to deal with Detroit because of the Steve Yzerman connection, because it's a boys' club, folks. My dad says it all the time. He can't stand it anymore. It's a fucking boys' club. You got to be cute to play. You got to be this. You got to be that. You got to be a lawyer's kid. It's a boys' club.
All right. Well, that's a good place for us to end.
Jerome McGinley's giving weather reports on the Boston News now. Did you see that?
No.
They stopped a random guy in Boston to give his thoughts on the weather, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm from Canada. Like, we're kind of used to this." And it was Jerome McGinley.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
Yeah, like
they obviously didn't recognize him, I assume.
No, they don't know who the hell he is.
Okay.
He only played there for what, a year?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win this year in the NHL? Early pick for the Cup favorite would be the Colorado Avalanche, I believe.
I think that's a pretty good choice.
Yep. That's who I got as my early pick for the Stanley Cup this year.
I still think Vegas is a contender.
Well, okay. Well, all right. You can put them down as your pick then.
I still think Vegas. Well, I think Colorado is a better choice than Vegas, but I still think Colorado is a contender.
They still got to play the games, man.
Yep.
And shortened season. You never know. Teams that should make it get off to a slow start, miss the playoffs. Yep. Opens up. Anything can happen. That's why a lot of teams don't.
Plan the route, baby.
That's why a lot of teams.
We got our plan the route. We got Joe Thornton. We got Johnny T.
Yeah, Jason Spezza, Wayne Simmons, the old tractor, out there. Wayne
Freddie
Simmons.
Anderson, load management.
Anyways, guys, this has been Out of Bounds. Any questions before we go? Thank you guys for watching. Actually,
you want to hang out for a second.
Big announcement. Just had this bad boy come in. not too happy with the customs charge that I was dinged, but if you guys are waiting to see some pretty cool cards, this order just came in from ComC. I'm going to do a live reveal right after the show, probably about 8:30.
That could have been our what time is it?
Yeah, what time is it? It's time to open this damn box. There's over 300 cards in here, the majority of which will be going on sale on singles nights on Thursday, so you guys want to check this out.
Awesome.
Mix of hockey, baseball, a little bit of everything in there.
Cool.
But we'll do that in about 20 minutes. Yeah. But thanks for tuning in. Pretty good episode of Out of Bounds, and the announcement of our future talk show coming up. It's going to be called The Hobby According to Me.
Yep.
Short version Ham.
Yeah. What was the ham bone one? That made me laugh.
If I have a bone to pick with something going on in the sports collector hobby, it's going to be the ham bone section. If you guys want to send in questions for the show, we're going to call it Hamming It Up. And yeah, if I see a guy as a like a not a long-term successful player, he's going to be a ham and egger. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But give us a thumbs up if you're watching the replay, and we'll see you maybe in a few minutes for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Take care.